How you doing, everybody? My name is DOCTORSAMMYBAYA. Please welcome back to my YouTube channel. How to beat a narcissist at its own game. That's the title of this video. Beating a narcissist at their own game can be challenging, given their self-centered nature and manipulative tactics. Understanding their behavior is crucial to effectively managing interactions with them. So in this video, I'm going to give you a comprehensive guide on how to navigate this complex dynamic. Number one way of beating a narcissist, you need to understand narcissistic traits. Narcissists often exhibit traits such as grandiosity, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. Recognizing these traits helps in anticipating their behavior and preparing a strategy to handle them effectively. To beat a narcissist at its own game, set clear boundaries. Narcissists tend to push boundaries. Establishing clear, firm boundaries is crucial. Clearly define what is acceptable and what is not, and be consistent in enforcing these limits. To beat a narcissist at its own game, you should know that narcissists often feed off emotional responses, so avoid emotional reactions. Maintain emotional detachment during interactions. By staying calm and composed, you deny the narcissist the emotional fuel they seek. To beat a narcissist at its own game, use logical arguments. When addressing issues, use logical, fact-based arguments. Narcissists often rely on emotional manipulation, so counteracting this with rational discourse can neutralize their tactics. To beat a narcissist at its own game, don't engage in power struggles. Narcissists thrive on power dynamics. Avoid getting drawn into power struggles or conflicts. Instead, focus on solutions and maintain a level-headed approach. To beat a narcissist at its own game, manage expectations. Narcissists rarely change their behavior. Manage your expectations to avoid disappointment and frustration. Understanding their limitations helps in strategizing more effectively. To beat a narcissist at its own game, leverage their need for admiration. Narcissists crave admiration. Use this to your advantage by strategically providing praise or recognition when needed. This can help in gaining their cooperation and minimizing resistance. To beat a narcissist at its own game, document interactions. Keep a record of interactions with the narcissist, especially in professional settings. This documentation can serve as evidence if disputes arise and can help in maintaining clarity about what has transpired. To beat a narcissist at its own game, seek support. Navigating relationships with narcissists can be emotionally draining, so seek support from friends, family, or a mental health professional to maintain your own well-being and gain perspective. To beat a narcissist at its own game, focus on self-care. Prioritize your own mental and emotional health. Engage in activities that recharge you and reduce stress. Self-care is crucial when dealing with the challenges posed by narcissistic individuals. To beat a narcissist at its own game, learn their triggers. Understand what triggers the narcissist's reactions. By identifying these triggers, you can avoid them or use them strategically to steer interactions in a more favorable direction. To beat a narcissist at its own game, use strategic withdrawal. Sometimes stepping back from a situation can be a powerful tactic. By withdrawing strategically, you can regain control and prevent the narcissist from manipulating you further. To beat a narcissist at its own game, avoid personalization. Narcissistic behavior is often about their own insecurities and not about you. So avoid taking their actions personally. This perspective helps in maintaining emotional detachment and resilience. To beat a narcissist at its own game, establish your own identity. Maintain a strong sense of self and personal identity. Narcissists often attempt to undermine others' self-worth. A strong personal identity can serve as a buffer against their manipulations. To beat a narcissist at its own game, employ the grey rock method. The grey rock method involves becoming as uninteresting and unresponsive as possible. This technique can reduce the narcissist's engagement and diminish their need for drama or conflict. To beat a narcissist at its own game, be assertive, not aggressive. When addressing issues, be assertive rather than aggressive. Clearly articulate your needs and boundaries without resorting to hostility or confrontation. To beat a narcissist at its own game, control the narrative. Narcissists often distort facts to suit their agenda. By controlling the narrative and presenting clear, accurate information, you can counteract their attempts to manipulate or misrepresent situations. To beat a narcissist at its own game, understand their vulnerabilities. Narcissists have vulnerabilities despite their outward confidence. Understanding these vulnerabilities can provide insights into their behavior and help in navigating interactions more effectively. To beat a narcissist at its own game, don't compete. Avoid competing with a narcissist for attention or validation. Instead, focus on your own goals and achievements. Competing with them can escalate conflicts and reinforce their manipulative behavior. To beat a narcissist at its own game, set realistic goals. When dealing with a narcissist, set realistic and achievable goals. Avoid expecting them to change or conform to your ideals. Focus on what you can control and manage within the relationship. To beat a narcissist at its own game, communicate clearly and concisely. Be direct and precise in your communication. Avoid ambiguity, as narcissists may exploit vague statements to their advantage. To beat a narcissist at its own game, avoid revealing personal information. Narcissists can use personal information against you. Be cautious about sharing details that could be used manipulatively. To beat a narcissist at its own game, practice self-resilience. Build resilience by developing coping strategies and maintaining a positive mindset. This helps in dealing with the emotional toll that interactions with a narcissist can have. To beat a narcissist at its own game, focus on what you can control. Recognize what aspects of the situation are within your control and concentrate your efforts there. This approach minimizes frustration and maximizes effectiveness. To beat a narcissist at its own game, use humor wisely. Humor can be a tool for diffusing tension and diffusing conflicts. However, use it carefully to avoid exacerbating the situation or being perceived as dismissive. To beat a narcissist at its own game, educate yourself. Continuously educate yourself about narcissistic behavior and coping strategies. Knowledge empowers you to handle interactions more effectively and protect yourself from manipulation. To beat a narcissist at its own game, set limits on engagement. Determine how much time and energy you are willing to invest in interactions with the narcissist. Limiting engagements can prevent burnout and reduce their impact on your life. To beat a narcissist at its own game, develop exit strategies. Have a plan in place for exiting or disengaging from situations involving a narcissist, especially if they become too toxic or harmful. To beat a narcissist at its own game, stay objective. Maintain an objective perspective on the narcissist's behavior. Avoid getting emotionally entangled and focus on practical strategies for managing the relationship. To beat a narcissist at its own game, seek professional guidance. If the situation becomes overwhelming, consider seeking guidance from a mental health professional. They can provide strategies and support tailored to your specific situation. Navigating interactions with a narcissist requires a strategic approach and a strong sense of self. By understanding their behavior, setting boundaries, and managing your own reactions, you can effectively handle the challenges they present. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not done so. Thank you.